All right, today let's understand the concept of forking repository by doing the hands-on. So first of all, in order to fork a repository, we need to open a repository. So please make sure this repository or any repository you want to fork doesn't belong to you, right? It should be belong to someone else. So first step is we navigate to the repository which we want to contribute to. So in this case, we have the Microsoft Learn DP203 Azure Data Engineer. This certification is, by the way, retired. We have DP700 now, for which I have a comprehensive course. So this is the original project owned by someone else. Think of it as a source library we'll be working with. So in order to fork a repository, the steps are simple, right? We have here the fork the button. Let's click here. So forking creates a personal copy of the repository under our own GitHub account. If you look here, Cloud Guru Amit 007 is my account, right? So it's basically creating a personal account, and here we can name the repository. I'll keep as it is for the simplicity of the tutorial. So this will basically allow us to experiment and make changes safely without affecting the original project. Original project is the Microsoft Learns one, right? DP203 Azure Data Engineer, right? So I'm basically making a copy kind of thing, right? So for then in next step we need to give the description. It's already there, by the way. And once done, we need to click on the create fork. Now let's verify whether the fork is successful or not. How do you verify? I'll click on my repository account, and here if you look, DP203 Azure Data Engineer is now appearing, apart from Git test and GitHub Foundation which we have created from my previous videos, right? So now if you see, it's again public, right? Now let's get inside here. Now we are inside our own copy. Please make sure it is not in the Microsoft Learn now. It's inside our own copy. How do we know it? If we look the here, Cloud Guru Amit 007, that is my account, and there I'm in this repository, right? So this is we can verify. Now let's try to add one file here. Add file, create new file, and let's give a name. Please note there are two things to note. The name, we need to give a name to our file. Let's give a test file, and here I need to write the contents of the file. I'll simply write this is test file for forking a repository. This looks good. Now once done, you'll see the commit changes. This previously grayed out is now appearing. Now let's click on commit changes, and here we have the option, right? So as a best practice, we know committing directly to master is not the good way. Instead we'll be creating branch. So by default, one name appears a default. You can give your own name, right? And in this way, we know branches are like separate workspace. They let us make changes without disturbing the main branch, right? That is the master branch here. So now let's click on propose changes. If you want to write any kind of description, you can add it, right? For now, let's click on propose changes. Now once our branch is ready, we can able to merge the branch, or we can also click on the create pull request, that is the PR. Now we can write the description, right? So once done, I'll click on create pull request. Now no conflicts with the base branch, looks good. Now let's merge the pull request, right? Let's click on merge. We can write any kind of description for it. Now I'll click confirm merge. Now this looks good. It shows pull request successfully merged, right? So we are good for now. So pull request is basically kind of saying, here is my improvement, please review and merge it, right? Appropriate persons can merge it, but for this demo, I'm myself merging it. So in real life scenarios, your teammates might be uh, reviewing these things and then merging kind of things. Like one can be a developer, another can be a reviewer, and one person can be approver. It depends. Otherwise, reviewer and approver can be the same person. Looks good. So once done, we can go back to the repository, and if we look here we have the sync fork. So sync fork is like finally we keep our fork up to date. In order to keep up to date, as the name suggests, sync, we click on sync fork. So it already shows this branch is not behind the upstream, that is this Microsoft Learn. It's already like kind of up to date, right? So if any kind of latest thing is available, we pull the latest changes from the original repository. That is the Microsoft Learn, if you look here, right? So this ensures our copy doesn't fall behind, right? So it's completely up to date, green check mark. So this looks good. So I hope you found the concept of forking a repository helpful. Thank you so much. Let's meet in our next lecture.